Stop chasing. Look, it's Marcel, aka Honey Bunny Sunny, and you know I'm on a mission to make you some money. Listen, let's let's get on in here, all right? Before we get started, you know what I need you to do? Hit that like button, right? Don't gatekeep the likes. I won't gatekeep the levels. All right. I appreciate y'all. Look, we got a nice little setup that's happening on a few of these stocks. This won't be a long live. You know, typically I go an hour plus, but this will probably be more like 45 minutes because I do have a meeting across town that's happening at 1 o'clock. So I gotta make sure that I'm that I'm on time for that. All right. But welcome. Y'all get on in here. When you get in here, just let me know where you're chiming in from. Let me know what city, state you're chiming in from. All right. So we have some levels, y'all, from the other day that we talked about, and this is what I've been trying to tell y'all. Like, the lives will be building blocks, right? So each live is going to build on the other, right? So it's important to make sure that you get to these lives so that you can get the information and get the level that we might have been waiting for confirmation on. All right, QTZ, what's going on? Nawan, what's going on, man? Houston in the building. All right, Houston in the building. There we go. If you guys are just getting in, look, I just do me a favor, hit the like button, doot, right? And we all good. All right, I got three beautiful setups that I want to go over, and then, like usual, I will take whatever stocks that you're looking at or analyzing and want more information on. All right. So DC, okay, what up? You said DC or PG? DC or PG? Georgia Griffin. There we go. Georgia in the building. All right, listen. All right, so I got three stocks that I'm looking at, y'all. OKLO, Tesla, and Google. All right. Who else we got? Zay, what's going on, man? All right. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna give it about 2 to 3 more minutes for some more people to climb in here, right? As you guys are coming in, again, do not gatekeep the likes. All right. The only thing I ask for you when you come to these lives is just to go ahead and hit that like button. That's it. All right. I'm gonna give you price action. I'm gonna give you levels. Right. You're going like, if I go back in my notes, let's see. Yesterday, y'all can go back and watch it as well. But yesterday, where is it? We went over like 9 stocks yesterday, yo. We covered a lot of ground. We covered a lot of ground yesterday. We went over about 12 stocks actually yesterday, which is way above the normal. James, what's going on? Miss Virgo, how you feeling? Darrell, what's going on? Who else we got in here? All right, cool. All right, so now that people are climbing in again, like I said, when you come in, just make sure you hit that like button, and we're going to get started. I'm going to go ahead and go right to the charts. All right, we're going to get right into the charts because I know that's what y'all here for. All right? Right into the charts. All right. So, off the break, we got Tesla that's coming down. I'm taking Tesla. Matter of fact, I entered Tesla, right? I entered Tesla already. I'm not going to lie. I already entered Tesla maybe about 20 cents ago. But I'm here letting you guys know that Tesla is falling. All right? If you want more confirmation, look at where it's at right now. If you've been watching the lives, I told y'all, Tesla out of the bear flag. What did it do? It did exactly what we said it was going to do. Out of the bear flag. Look at that. Last week was just a little bit of a hesitation. We got it today. Break below the neckline. We may see this thing come down to like 370 something, 380 something. Okay? So I like what this is forming. There's not levels. They're like it's breaking all levels, right? Right when it gets below this neckline, it would have breached this level and we can get it down to about 385. That's going to be the target, right? Again, we have the left shoulder right here, the head, the right shoulder, and then a slanted neckline. Let me jump back into the chat real quick. Who remembers what I said about slanted necklines? Who remembers what I said about slanted necklines? Liz, I took it right at the money. So I'm not sure exactly what that price is right now, but it's whichever one was like right at the money. So I believe it was 420, 421. I got weeklies. I'm not even playing with this thing. This thing is coming down. I got weeklies on Tesla. All right. What is the slanted neckline mean, yo? You said, what is your date? I got weekly, so Friday. Yep. Whatever day Friday is. What is that? What's like the 23rd? Yeah, 23rd. I got the 23rd. All right. Tesla's coming down with fire too, with heavy force. All right. Like I said, we breached this neckline today. We breached this neckline. Like I said, I'm already in it because I like the action on it today. And there's not like a major like level once it breaks through here. So a breakthrough here is good to take. You could wait to the last 10 minutes to see if they get some little fake bounce or something like that. But Tesla's looking very bearish, right? And this is not something that's new. We've been talking about this since the bear flag, right? It should have made this move last week, but it waited a little bit. We got some momentum because of tariffs and all of that stuff. Any little tap, right? Any ounce of bad news added to this setup is going to send it down, right? So I love this setup right here. Again, head and shoulders, bear flag, can't go wrong. All right. Let's see. And again, so since I didn't see anybody in the chat explain telling me what a slanted neckline is, so I'm just going to tell you, right? Whenever the neckline is slanted like this on a head and shoulders, that typically means a longer move, like a bigger move. That means that the power, the downside is pretty powerful. When you see it slanted like this, typically you'll see a head and shoulders and it'll go straight across. But when it's slanted like this, that means that it's coming down pretty hard. All right. That's just a rule of thumb. The same way that we do the measured moves for the bear flag. Certain setups just have certain rules. All right. All right. So that's Tesla. And again, like I said, I'm already in Tesla. I also mentioned that I was going to be doing Netflix in TPC. So if you're in the Prosperity Collective, I talked about Netflix, right? Netflix is currently down like 0.02%. Earnings is after hours. I'm doing what you call a size for zero trade, right? This is not something that I recommend to do all the time, but it's only when you see something or you want to take a risk on something and you don't mind losing the entire thing, hence the name size for zero. All right, so I'm doing a size for zero trade with Netflix, playing into earnings with the expectation that Netflix is going to go crazy tomorrow. All right, or overnight. We got massive consolidation down here. We should get an outperform and a nice little pump, and we'll see. Like I said, I'm prepared to lose every dime of what I'm risking, because it falls under what my normal stop loss is. All right. Now, I do want to say this about the market though, y'all. We had a pretty bearish day, as you can see. It gapped down, whenever that happens, I'm always cautious about the gap, right? So let me give you an example. Palantir, for instance. Good thing we didn't take Palantir too, by the way. Um, Good thing we didn't take that earlier, and I listened to my intuition because it definitely failed, as you can see. Um, I do like the setup on Palantir right now. If it can stay like this, right? This is a hammer, a reverse hammer, right? It's a reverse hammer at the end of a down move. I told y'all what that means. It's at a level. It's at the tip of a Bollinger Band. We could see this jump up tomorrow, right? It's at the lower extreme of the Bollinger Band with a failed two down, which is also in the shape of a reverse hammer. So this is a very strong reversal signal. Again, you can do two things. You can try to anticipate the confirmation candle, which is a little higher risk, or you can wait for the confirmation candle, right? So the confirmation would be tomorrow. It can't, you can only get the confirmation the next day. So a confirmation would be write this level down, 172, a close above 172. A green close above 172 would be a confirmation on this particular setup. And a very simple target would just be a retracement of the previous high, which would be 182.50. All right, so mark that level. If we can get a close on Palantir above 172, right? And then you take entries at the close of day with that confirmation candle. Then Thursday roll around, you should be able to get a nice profit targeting 182.50. All right. So that's the move for Palantir. Now again, if you do want to take a higher risk play, right? And again, if you are doing something that's a little higher risk, I always recommend you having a strategy within itself for that, right? Majority of your plays should be high probability, right? But there's also something that is slightly higher risk when you can already anticipate what is forming on the chart. So again, there's clues. We have a failed two down, right? After the push down of the market. Typically, when we get a push down like that, it's like, okay, there's some sort of trick that may be coming. They may be trying to get everybody excited about the downside for certain stocks, right? I'm not talking about Tesla here. I'm just talking about Palantir and other tech stocks. So you can anticipate the confirmation candle coming tomorrow, which is higher risk, which means you should risk way less if you do take it. And also making sure that like the amount of money that you're risking is like completely okay with you're okay with losing, right? This would be another scenario where I would do a size for zero trade, right? And again, you also don't have to lose the whole amount. You'll see what forms tomorrow. But typically, when you get something like this at the edge of a Bollinger Band, and not just the Bollinger Band, but it's another level right here, and it's also a level here in this area. This looks like the likelihood is going to be a bullish day tomorrow. All right, but again, anything can happen. So always just be cautious of the different scenarios. But I do like this. I think I'm going to wait for confirmation, but it is there if you want to play into confirmation. All right. Let's see. All right, so that's Palantir. I also want to look at OKLO, y'all. OKLO started off looking really good today, and then I said OKLA. me daydreaming about LA. Yeah, OKLO is still in the same setup. Yeah. It fell pretty significantly today, right? It opened up green, and then had a huge rejection, but it is still holding the structure of this bull flag. Um, my sentiment for OKLO right now is neutral. I still want to see it break this bull flag. Let me stretch the bull flag a little bit more so you get an idea. There we go. So we need to break out of this bull flag. When we can break out of this bull flag, this is where we're headed, right? 150, right? Maybe not may not happen, in a couple of days. It could be a longer swing, but the momentum is going to, take it to that in this wave up. So in the next wave up, 150 is what it's going to be targeting, right? But we got to get that closure outside of the bull flag first. All right. So OKLO, I'm not taking anything on it right now. Again, just like I said yesterday, I'm still waiting for the confirmation. We didn't get it, but we did hold structure. So as soon as we can break out of this flag again, OKLO is a go straight up. All right. All right. Who we got in here? He said I took a solid game for 172. What you took? Palantir. You said you got hit on OKLO. You didn't take you entered it yesterday. When you saw it up, you didn't take profit. Okay, bro, I had to take my money out of my account. I be spending everything I see. Yeah. Hey, listen, man. Hey, look, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all this. Palantir. The most important thing, y'all. The most important thing that you can do for yourself is to really get some discipline about your setups. All right, I'm gonna just tell y'all straight up because there could be great setups, all of that stuff, but you don't need to take a lot of trades. So when I come here and I'm giving y'all these plays, these are ideas. These are you know things that definitely can and will make you money, but you don't gotta spend up all of your your buying power and stuff like that, right? Honestly, I think 1 to 2 trades a day is solid. Especially like you get a big win on that first trade. It's like you don't have to go back in. You know what I mean? I just give you this. Statistically, the more trades you take, the more likely you are to lose. Just straight up and down. That's statistically, because you're already trading in a sector that is riskier than holding stocks or leaps. So if you're day trading options, it inherently is already riskier because the time frame. Anytime a time frame is condensed, is riskier. So when you're talking about making moves within a day, it's like, yeah, we have these setups and stuff like that, but you don't gotta catch them all. You just gotta catch a couple of good ones. So if I lay it out there, like just make sure that you know what I mean. You got a process that you kind of go through, maybe a checklist to kind of determine like which ones you're going to take. All right. If y'all are just joining the live, welcome. Okay. Do me a favor and hit that like button. All right. Just hit it one time for me. Don't gatekeep the like, and I would never gatekeep levels. All right. I'm gonna keep saying that in all my lives. I truly appreciate y'all being here. We got Tesla that we looked at already. We got Palantir that we looked at. We just got finished looking at OKLO, and now I'm getting ready to look at Google. Google is actually one that I think is prime, right? Google is looking. Oh, that's Google. I mean, same difference. Let me actually get the right Google. I trade GOGGL. I know some people do GOOG, but I do GOGL. Um, right? Okay. GOOGL. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm hungry. I ain't gonna lie. I'm hungry already. All right. All right. Come on. What's taking this thing so long? All right. So y'all. So Google has a fail to down. It's sitting right at an order block, and it's sitting right at the center of Bollinger Band. Um, I believe this is ready to go up. I believe it's going to reverse here. I think the drop we saw here was exactly the drop that it was supposed to get, which was just a pullback, right? So it came and went to the it made a high, it came back and it's retesting the level, and I believe that this is the pullback. So again, this is just like Palantir, right? Same exact setup. Um, you can either play the confirmation or you can wait for the confirmation, right? Playing the confirmation would be a close on a failed 2D, um, and you could take entry today at closing, 10 minutes before closing, and swing it out 1 to 3 weeks, right? If you want to give yourself some time, go 2 3 weeks, right? But this is a really nice setup. It's just a pullback, right? It's just a pullback. Um, so again, a riskier move would be taking it 10 minutes before closing. Um, a more likely scenario, or I guess a higher probability scenario, would be a closure above this level. You can write this down, 328, right? A bullish closure above 328 with a higher high and a higher low would be your confirmation to the upside. If it closes above that, it's going to be ready to come and retrace, at least to 337.50, right? At least to 337.50 in that area. All right. There's also the scenario that all of these tech companies like Palantir, Google, they also can, you know this could be like kind of like a fake out, and it could fall through and come and test this level right here, right? Where there it's a ton of buyers here, so the bounce is definitely coming, but sometimes they give you that extra little like, ugh, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you think the reverse was coming right here, then they give you one more little thing to fill this little gap right here, right? So that is a likely scenario. That's the only reason that I'm not like super excited to take it today at closing, and I would much rather prefer the confirmation, right? Both, there are two ways you can play it, but if if you're taking my advice, I would wait for the confirmation, just because of the day that we had today, and it's no telling, what they may try to pull. So, like I said, there's still plenty of room for this to get cleaned up right here. Um, so I would wait for upside confirmation in this particular scenario. But this is a nice pullback, right? I think we could see upside tomorrow, but um, I want to be sure before entering a swing on this particular play. Okay. Um, but yeah, like I said, it is right at the mean, so it's not a bad place to take entry. I'm just kind of like trying to be cautious. Um, all right, so that's Google. What else we got? Amazon. What are y'all looking at currently? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm taking Netflix though. I'm being real. Like, that's just a lotto. I'm literally I'm gonna show you. I'm literally taking Netflix because I just want to see. I want to see what happens. Right. This is not like a trading strategy. This is not something that you do every day. But I'm literally completely okay with a complete donut, like a complete loss, because I do believe it's going to blast off, right? Because it's done enough falling. I believe that this is where we break out of the way. And I could be completely wrong. And like I said, I'm completely okay with that amount if I do lose. Again, this is not how you trade every day. I want to drill that in your head. You will not pick up bad habits from me. I will not encourage you all to do things a certain way consistently. I'm always going to encourage you guys to do things the proper way. But if you do take a risk every now and then, like something that is higher risk than something that you normally take, you just have to make sure that it is like the full amount of that loss never exceeds what your stop loss is on your normal size. Just drill that into your head. All right. Again, listen, if y'all are just joining, welcome. Okay. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Don't gatekeep the likes, and I never gatekeep the levels. Okay. I'm here every single day, 11:30 Pacific, 2:30 Eastern. All right. So yeah, so Netflix is in this falling wedge. It needs to break out. I believe that the catalyst for the breakout, like I said, is earnings. But again, I'm completely sized for zero on this trade. Not looking to, not like I said, I'm not going to be impacted at all if there is a loss. And this is not how I would normally take a trade, but because of the falling wedge into the earnings, I think that it's a pretty good high risk play if that makes any sense. All right. If y'all have any other stocks that y'all want to analyze, just go ahead and drop them in the chat section. All right. Whatever. Okay. So CRWV at CoreWeave, CRM, Microsoft. All right. I got you. No worries. No worries. All right. So we'll go Nike first. We'll do Microsoft. We'll do CRM. And then we'll do CoreWeave. All right. Let's get it. All right. So Nike. Yeah, Nike's on a nice pullback right now. Um, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. You're seeing the same thing across the across the market. Y'all notice that y'all see a lot of these hammers. Do y'all see these reverse hammers all over the market? I think that's something that whenever you see a ton of the same setup, I believe that's something to be cautious about, right? Because that sounds to me like the market is trying to go and find liquidity. It's trying to get everybody into a particular position to make a specific sweep, right? So yes, we are sitting at the center of the Bollinger Band. Typically would be a bounce level, um, but it's still in this downtrend, right? Y'all see this downtrend I got drawn? We still in this downtrend. A very simple and easy trading strategy is to draw a trend line. I'm telling you, this is almost like this is like the this is so funny. What I'm about to say funny is so funny because if Spencer is still in the chat right now, I can already hear what he's about to say for the example that I'm about to give. But I'm gonna say it anyway. So the trend line the trend line is literally like the layup of the stock market, right? It's just as easy as it is to hit a layup. Just as easy as it is to hit a layup, it's easy to trade a trend line, right? So a layup is supposed to be like the easiest, the most simple thing in ball to do, right? A trend line is literally you connecting 2 points, right, to form a trend. Literally, the breakout of that trend is is saying that there's a breakout that's getting ready to take place. So a close outside of this to the upside would be a good entry, right? If we could get a close like right here, then this would be the first target that we would go for. Breaks that, this will be the next target. Breaks that, then the next target is way up here. So a break above 69 is really going to be like what you want to see. But I'm not interested in Nike until it breaks its trend line. Just a simple answer. All right. All right. That's it. I already knew you was gonna be in the comments. Oh, you're hilarious, dog. All right. So yeah, that's my take on Nike, y'all. And like I said, you can apply this to pretty much every stock, any stock, right? Draw a trend line. If you think about patterns, every pattern is made up of trend lines. When you think about the cup and handle is two trend lines to form the handle on the cup and handle is two trend lines, right? When you think about a bull flag, it's two trend lines. Bear flag is two trend lines. When you think about the head and shoulders, the neckline is a trend line, right? They're all made up of trend lines. So you can literally just draw you a trend line, and the more that trend is respected, the greater the breakout. So we got this trend has been being respected for, since back in September. Probably before that. Let's see. Yeah, this trend has been going on since September. So we're almost in February, which is crazy. We almost in February, and if it can break out of this trend, that's when you'll see Nike really start to make some move to the upside. All right. So that's Nike. Let's go Microsoft. I'm telling you, man, you trade trend lines are gonna get you paid. Like that's gonna help you identify a big move every time. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Microsoft is ready. Yeah. Microsoft is ready to bounce. It had it came down today because the market came down. Right. That is that simple. But this failed to up at this level is a very very strong level. I like this. Matter of fact, I might take leaps in this. I'm taking notes of this for myself. I might take leaps in this, y'all. Let me pull out this real quick. This might be a leap opportunity right here. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, this is down nearly 20%. It's nearly at my threshold for leaps. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. At minimum, I can see this coming to about 475 over the next couple of weeks. Again, this is another one we don't have to rush it. Again, we could wait for the confirmation. Um, let me just see the levels below this. Yeah, everything that's taking place today, I'm waiting for for confirmation. But again, y'all, like you know, you can make your entries with with a confirmation when we're talking about swinging. But again, you can be watching these names intraday tomorrow, right? But yeah, this definitely looks good. But again, there's always the possibility that they want to do a little more shaking out, right? So we could break through these levels and come down to 430, which is the next order block, which is why I'm not eager to jump into any of these plays today, right? This is the reason that I'm waiting for confirmation, because whenever you have a big breakdown, right? There's a couple things that can happen. It can be an immediate closure, right? Same day closure, next day closure, or it can continue. Like that could just like that gap down could be the start of a of a really big move that's taking place. So I need to see confirmation on all these setups, right? All the setups got the same thing across the market. I don't trust it just yet. I need the confirmation first. So we get the confirmation on this tomorrow, then I'll be very, very much so interested in Microsoft for leaps and possibly some shorter term swings. All right. All right. So now we're gonna go CRM. He said, "You guys gonna keep?" No, I don't, Zay. Uh, do you have or are you building shares in Nike? No. For Netflix, are you doing same? We putting it up. No, I'm just doing a. It's basically like a lottery ticket on Netflix. So I'm sized for zero, completely okay with losing the whole thing, and I'm rocking out like that with it. It says, "What do you see on Starbucks?" I figure it's their season around now. Yeah, I can check it out. That's a good one. Let me see. It was a time where we was hitting Starbucks like every day in the group. It's funny, some of these stocks just kind of like fall off. You know what I mean? Like, different things happen, like they movement kind of falls off. Um, sometimes when stocks have stock splits and stuff like that, they don't move the same. It's a lot of little things that can impact the stock. So we'll go CRM. I really like CRM, but I don't like the way that the market treats it. It's so weird. Like CRM, they super innovative in their space, but for some reason the market just does not respond to them. Like they should be performing way better than they are right now. Like when I think about like other companies that were introducing some sort of like innovations in AI, I saw how they performed, and I feel like Salesforce wasn't getting that same credit. Um, yeah, I don't really see anything on CRM. Here, let me clean this up for y'all a little bit. Yeah, I mean we got this bullish order block here, like around 217. It looks very bearish. Um, I don't see a reversal signal yet. We gotta wait for it. We gotta wait for a reversal signal. But right now it just looks very bearish, very heavy. So this, we could see this continuing to come down. All right. So CRM, I'm not really seeing anything right now. Um, but check in with me tomorrow. Matter of fact, I'm gonna star this, and we can lock in on this tomorrow to see if it made some sort of reversal signal, by the end of the day tomorrow. But just from what I'm seeing, it looks like it's probably going to continue to come down a little bit more. Um, Definitely before it goes up. All right. So that's CRM. Core weave. Again, y'all, if you just joining, welcome. Go ahead and hit that like button for me. It'd be greatly appreciated. Right. It takes 2 seconds, and it really helps us get into the algorithm. All right. No gatekeeping on the levels here. I'm showing y'all things that can really make you money in real time, right? This is like these are real setups, real levels that you can go and make money, with tomorrow or whenever these confirmations kick in. Um, this is the stuff that is on the other side of the paywall that a lot of people put up, right? And I get it. You gotta, groups gotta make their money. We charge for our group as well. Um, but I want y'all to see that this stuff works for yourself, and then from there you can make a decision about who you want to rock with. All right. All right. So core weave. Yeah, core weave like rejected Friday. It did break out of this range right here. It was in this range for a little bit. It looks like it may be trying to come back and like retest this range like 9150. Um, I would just watch core weave. Whoever requested core weave, I would just keep an eye on it. I would keep the level 9150. I would set an alert at 9150 level. Um, and the moment that it breaches that or touches that, I would start looking to see if it's forming a reversal signal. Um, because if that is the case, we could have ourselves a bull flag right here. All right, I'm gonna show you. This all this stuff is pattern recognition, y'all. Pattern recognition and geometry. All right, so yeah, this is a bull flag. And it could come down a little bit more as you can see. So let me make sure I'm not okay. This needs to go up a little bit where it currently is. A little bit more. That's about it. Yeah. So it's in a bull flag. I would give it just a little bit more time and watch it. Like I said, that 9150. I would mark that level um, to see if it does come down to test that. This actually should be a little bit right. Yeah. So that I would do 91. I would have 9150 as the level that I'm waiting for it to to come down and touch. It looked like it might have already. No, it came down to 90, 92. Yeah. So yeah, I would say about 9150. I would see if it tries to come and test that tomorrow, right? And if not, like the only thing you're waiting for is just a break of the bull flag. It breaks this bull flag, then this thing can really go, right? Plenty of space to the upside, right? All of this, plenty of cleaning up to do to the upside. Um, I w- this 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 actually this actually could be considered like a double bottom, just like kind of like slightly off, but yeah, we'll say reverse head and shoulders, but those shoulders are super high. Like that's yeah. Yeah. So I like it breaking out of the bull flag, right? So we can get a break out of the bull flag. This is something that will be really cool to the upside. And what I'll do is I'll also star this. Um, Anything that has a really good setup, I'm gonna put a star next to it so that we can follow up in it, tomorrow. But yeah, that's core weave. All right. And then we have Starbucks. Starbucks. Mm. It is a bullish engulfing, but it's a bullish engulfing at the at highs. Got a bearish order block right up there. Let me go over to the left before I start yapping. Hold on. Get a real picture. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that's really attractive on Starbucks. Um it could possibly be on its way to actually a mean reversion, right? It could be wanting to come back down to 87 over the next 30 days. Um, yeah, I'm not saying anything exciting about this. Definitely not to the upside. With this bearish order block right here, I wouldn't mess with it. We can see what it does tomorrow, but right now I don't really see anything on this. Like I said, the bullish engulfing could mean that it may want to try to push into this bearish order block. It looks like it's a pretty big bearish order block too. So you know it could possibly possibly take out highs and maybe try to test up in this 98 area. But again, like I mentioned yesterday on live, like I'm not into taking swings into bearish order blocks. It just, to me, it's just you just gambling. You know what I mean? Even though it is a setup to the upside. Like technically, this is a bullish pattern. I just don't like the risk to reward. Right? I would be more interested in it with to the downside, coming back down to like 88. But I don't like to play calls into bearish order blocks. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. All right, so yeah, so that's Starbucks. Y'all got any more? I could probably do like maybe like one or two more because I gotta definitely be out of here in like 10 minutes. All right. If you guys are just joining, I appreciate y'all. Welcome. If this is helpful at all, like just go ahead and hit that like button. All right. Would greatly appreciate it. All right, let's see what y'all talking about. He said, can you look at MSTR? I can tell you right now, MSTR is MSTR is probably going to like Bitcoin has a very bearish setup. Crypto in general could really slide. We could go look at it, but crypto could definitely slide. Thank you. That was thinking. Can you peek at Meta? All right, so we'll do MSTR and Meta, and then I'm gonna get up out of here. All right, let's see what MSTR is talking about. Hey, listen, y'all. Before I do MSTR, if it's your first time on here and y'all are trying to figure out like where you should be trading, I think the Prosperity Collective is probably the best choice that you'll make this year. All right, we got a ton of people that are in the group right now, that are in a chat, that are in the Prosperity Collective. And if you just want to reach out to one of them quietly, or if you want to ask in the chat like how things have been going, feel free. Okay, and if you've been trading by yourself and you've been looking for somebody to trade with, right? I can't think of a better place than the Prosperity Collective, right? We have people that have left some of your favorite groups to come and join ours for good reason. All right, the link is in the description of all of my videos. Take some time to just kind of like go through my page, see if you mess with the vibe, if you've learned anything, and if from that point you are like, all right, this is the guy. Go ahead and click the link in the description to join the community. All right. All right. So strategy, or MSTR as we like to call it. Yeah. I mean, technicals is not doing anything. Obviously, it fell really big today. Almost 7%. But it's in consolidation, yo. Whenever you see this right here, right? This is consolidation. So, for me to be interested in MSTR, I would need to see it break out of that really $200. I know that's a big jump from where it is, but because crypto is in such a uncertain space right now, and there's like some of the bigger ones like Bitcoin are starting to signal bearish. It's not necessarily a good play to the upside, and it's not even and this is also not showing downside either. Like I said, this is in consolidation mode. So a break below low, whenever you see consolidation, again, like I told you, like I say pretty much every live, consolidation is indecision. And usually after you've been in a state of indecision, you finally make a, like a firm decision, right? So we'll know what that firm decision is like once it breaks out of the range. So whenever you see, bunched up levels like this, like a lot of the up and down, up and down, and up and down, stuff like that is really good for covered call strategies, right? So if you guys are familiar with covered calls, or you watch my video on covered calls, um, this is a good time for covered calls because um, the whole goal of covered calls is to sell options to people. So those options that we are purchasing, they're coming from somebody, right? Typically market makers, but they can also be coming from like individuals as well, right? Everybody has the right to sell options if you own 100 or more shares of a particular stock. So it's good to understand it, right? If you're ever buying something, it's good to understand that there has to be a seller. So when you buy these call options, you buy these sell options, you are buying them from somebody who actually owns the security. So in a time like this, a cover call strategy is good because with cover calls, you don't want the stock to actually like perform well. You want it to kind of like stay in like a little slight movement so that you can keep your shares that you're selling to people, right? That you're selling the options contract on. You can keep it and you also get to charge that premium. So it doesn't exceed the price point in which you got in it. Therefore, you get to keep the shares and then you can go and do it again and again whenever we're in these type of situations. So it's an income strategy, right? So this is when you see consolidation and slow movement, this is when you're seeing a lot of people, start to exercise that strategy. But in terms of a swing call or put, I'm not saying anything on MSTR. All right. What was the other meta? So we'll do meta and then we'll wrap it up. All right. I could legit go all night doing this, but like I said, I gotta go. I got a meeting I gotta get to in a second. So this might, like I said, this is gonna be probably one of the shorter ones. Yeah, we just under an hour. All right. So the last but not least, we got Meta. Damn, that sounds like one of the raps I made. Uh, yeah, we got the gap. Let's see what these bearish order blocks kick in. Yeah, again, I would wait for a double bottom, right? So around 582.50, around this level right here, I would just simply wait for that to even start to look for for calls. Um, it could definitely continue down, but also it may try to fill the gap tomorrow. So short answer, I would leave Meta alone. High probability setup would be a reversal signal down here at the bearish order block, which would form a double bottom, which is a very high probability reversal pattern. Okay, so that's Meta. I'm gonna get off here. Yep, that's what we got for today, y'all. That's what we got for today. Yeah, I appreciate y'all chiming in. Again, I hope this was helpful. Again, we're in a state in the market right now where you don't want to make any like just rash decisions. You want to make sure that you are getting confirmation. We got a gap down, and I'm afraid that it may be the start of something that could be a little bit, longer term, or maybe just in the short term, right? That we see some downside. So instead of trying to front run things that have a reversal signal, wait for confirmation, right? So none of the plays that we went over, we're not getting into those today. Like I wouldn't advise getting into anything today until we get the confirmation tomorrow. If we don't get the confirmation, then you know what's happening. We might come down most of the week. All right. All right. I'm about to get up out of here, man. Listen, if y'all are participating in the the juice cleanse and the prosperity collective, I'm gonna just say this: stay strong, because I'm already hungry. Look, remember, invest smart, live free. I'll see you in the next one.